Oh my god, why are vegans always so pimply and have such bad skin? It's like an epidemic. No, but in all seriousness, guys, this bitch really needs to be put in her place. And before you start accusing me of cyber harassment, violence, misogyny, it's important that you know I'm a transsexual, binary, non-cis activist that identifies as a person of color. So I'm not some hateful cis white male, okay? So anyway, this bitch is asking for $15,000 fucking dollars so that she can supposedly pay for legal proceedings to take action against defamation and cyberbullying, which basically means she is a self-righteous cunt trying to profit from the destruction of free speech. Just so people don't leave mean comments on the interwebs. So this bitch is apparently a victim of the male sex drive, as she makes sexual harassment claims about a well-known vegan activist called Durian Rider.
So, as some of you may or may not know, Freewee and Durian Rider had a break last year, and during that break, Harley slept with multiple young women, all of whom are in their early 20s.
I fucking slay, cunt! You're just a gay cunt! I'm ripping billies every motherfucking day, cunt!
So while they were on their break, Harley was in Chiang Mai for a time, and he was at a potluck that I was also at. And as I was just finishing my ebook, I asked him for his opinion on it, and he said that it looked good, and then asked me how I'd created the cover of it, and then asked if I could teach him how I did it. I agreed to do so, and he messaged me the next day and asked me to meet him that evening. Once we met, he invited me to return to his hotel room with him, and once we were there, he asked me if I would design the channel art and ebook cover of his latest ebook, both of which he's still using. And I agreed to do that. He said that in return for doing those two things for him, he would do a video shout out for me, which he did actually do about a month later.
Just a shout out? Come on, girl, surely you want some money from him. Come on, work that thing. Let's see what you got, sweetie.
He then went and took a shower, he left the room, and I started to work on designing his channel art. When he returned to the room, he sat on the couch beside me, and it was a very Thai-sized couch. There was almost no room between us.
Oh my god, what a creepsogynist. Did you call the police or something? Oh my god.
And as he was sitting beside me, I had my hair in a ponytail, and he kind of ran his hand over my hair, said something about it being nice, and it was in that moment that I started to feel uncomfortable.
Alright, you little pimply face cunt, listen here. A guy's nice enough to invite you back to his place, shout you out on his YouTube channel, and then compliment your hair, and that makes you feel uncomfortable. And then when blokes start saying mean things on the internet, you try and raise 15 grand against cyberbullying. Which one is it, cunt? Do you like people being mean or nice? Or neither? Do you just like men not speaking at all? Get your shit together.
I just started to feel sick, my legs were shaking, so I went to the bathroom.
That's nothing to do with Durian Rider's behaviour, that's what we call the vegan runs. Oh my god.
There's shit everywhere!
And by the time I came back, he was pretty involved in designing the channel art himself, playing around with it. So we did most of the channel art together, and then as it was sort of ending, he wrote on the computer, "Do you want to kiss me?" I said no and tried to laugh it off. He asked me again, and I said no again, and shortly after that I finished the channel art and he walked me out. Before I left, he asked me again if I was sure if I wanted to leave, and I had a friend staying with me at the time, so I said that I had to get back to her. He made a joke about her joining us, and then I left very soon after that.
And we had plenty of places in the place to work. She's like, "Where should we sit?" And I said, "Sit anywhere." She goes, "That looks all right." So she plonks the computer on the coffee table, a little small couch. I said, "Okay." So I sat next to her. This is a big hotel room. We had chairs and tables and stuff like that. But HC chose to sit on the couch, so I sat next to her. And the vibes were good. The vibes were mutual. And I thought, well, I'm gonna see where I stand here. So I wrote on the app or something like that. I said, "Would you like to kiss me?"
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player.
But nothing happened, and she went home. And I walked her out, we chatted, and I said, "You sure?" She said, "I'm sure." I said, "Sorry, I didn't want to creep you out, no worries." And left it at that.
So fast forward to the next day, We messaged a little bit through the day.
And then we talked more, and then she said the next day, she sent me an email saying, do you want me to come over tonight and we can do some more work? And I said, okay.
The second night was basically the same as the first night. He asked me if I'd thought about what we talked about the night before, and I said yes, I had thought about it, and the answer was still no. But he didn't respect my answer. He kissed me anyway and then started to ask for more. I ended up making excuses. I had a friend in my apartment that I had to get back to. I was on my period. I was uncomfortable with how close it was to the breakup with Freely, but he didn't listen to my excuses and he continued to ask me for more.
No pressure. So she came over again and we got it on. She sat in the same little position on the sofa and we're making out on the sofa, and then HC says, maybe we should go to the bed. I said, only if you're comfortable with that. And we went to the bed and progressed. We had sex.
So hit the road, cunt. You got it showed, cunt. Your fucking missus took my motherfucking load, cunt.
At the time, I looked up to him because he'd always been nice to me and I saw him as a friend. But in my opinion, this sort of behaviour, especially as a self-proclaimed leader, is inappropriate. I've wanted to come clean about this for a while. So, I'll get straight into it. About a year and a half to 2 years ago, I partook in a practice that I now see as morally wrong, abhorrent, and disgusting. So, basically the scenario was the people that I was surrounded by in my community, we would regularly eat girls' periods.
What? Oh my god.
Inappropriate. I know that sounds crazy, but it didn't seem weird at the time. Basically, we would use girls' periods from our area, some of them even like girls that live with us, and we never ate our own, like, that was just, wasn't an option. And yeah, we would usually have them for breakfast.
Yeah, I think I've heard just about enough, sweetheart, okay? I'm not gonna judge you or anything, but you never ever fucking get to tell anyone what is or isn't appropriate ever a fucking again, okay? Because this shit is pretty fucking disgusting. Oh my god.
Inappropriate. Particularly when you're in the company of someone who is younger than you and who looks up to you.
Got that, fellas? It's only cool to smash bitches if they're older than you and they don't fucking respect you, alright?
Harley is constantly portraying himself as this white knight in the vegan community who is trying to stick up for young women and alert them to sexual predators. But the irony of this is, in my experience, he has been the most sexually predatory person that I have come across in this community.
Well, I think you'd be in for a bit of a shock, love, if you were to hang around the carnivore community. Us folk are even known to kiss girls without even asking for verbal permission beforehand.
And that's why I feel the need to make this video. Since they have come back to Chiang Mai for the bike festival, he has been back in contact with me. He wanted to know when I was going to be going up Joyce Tip, when I was purposefully not going back up in order to avoid them. He let me know that he thought I was looking good, and he had a conversation with one of my friends during which he again said to her that I was looking good, and he asked her if I was still living where I had been living last year. And the most recent contact I had with him is about 4 days ago, and I finished that conversation by asking him not to contact me again. Now obviously I haven't explained every single detail of the situation, and honestly I already feel uncomfortable revealing this much, but I do feel that it's important for me to speak up because the behaviour that Harley is accusing Isel of is exactly what I experienced. He accused Isel of inviting young girls back to his apartment or his hotel room, and that's exactly what I experienced. The irony of it is that it wasn't Isel that invited me back to his hotel room, it was Harley. It is completely hypocritical of Harley to accuse someone else of contacting young girls on the internet, luring them back to his hotel room to ask them for sex, when that is literally exactly what he himself has done.
So you might have a point here, bae. I mean, white knighting's a fairly disgusting and common trait, and it's really disgusting. But what I don't like about your video is that you're shaming straight masculinity, making it seem like all men that are attracted to young, attractive women, or, young, not very attractive women, are somehow creeps and sexually predatorial. I think that's fucking disgusting. And then you try and make money from this shit? Get a grip, girl.
Inappropriate.
But she's saying, she's alleging that I raped her or sexually assaulted her. She doesn't really talk too much in the video. She's letting the viewer come up with the assumptions.
Inappropriate.
He was very slowly breaking me down, getting me very dependent on him. I was very, very scared of him. I was very strictly watched over, and I was very ashamed and very scared.
Nobody believes them and thinks that they're lying.
So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you didn't catch any STDs or cancer from watching this cringy shitfest. But in a world where it's increasingly common for women to claim they were raped or assaulted by rich celebrities months or years after the fact, while trying to profit off false female victim narratives based around taking away men's legal rights, including their right to even fucking speak online, it's high time you cunts serious about protecting freedom of speech go a week without blowing all your money on purchasing date rape drugs and donated to my tiny little channel so that I can continue to stick my neck out and speak against feminist propaganda. Even if it's only $1, I really do appreciate it, guys. Hookers aren't cheap, and dealing with crazy bitches like this just isn't worth it. So I hope this video wasn't too difficult to masturbate to. Stay tuned for more great videos, and if you leave a like on this video, I promise that during the night this week, the hottest girl in the world will break into your bedroom, or, your mother's basement, with an axe and rape you silly.